Okay, so we've got them all set here in this pile, so they're all together the same pages like this, okay? You want to make sure that they're the same direction. One time I couponed and I had one like this, because what you do is you put them together and then you staple them, and if you have that going on and you end up cutting this coupon, you lose that coupon. So you want to make sure to go through and make sure they're all the same direction. And the idea is, we already did one so you could kind of see, you're going to staple the coupons together so that it's easy to just cut, because it's not loose anymore. It's pretty close together. Now, one thing that is a problem, not particularly with this ad, but sometimes it does happen, is you'll find like the margins won't be exactly, when you line it up, this won't be exactly in the same place. You'll notice at the top sometimes this is shorter, luckily this time. But if that's the case, you need to pay attention to where it's lining up. Let's say that my margin was here, and I was lining it up to that, okay? When I'm cutting here, you'll see that I would cut into the barcode. So you want to make sure that these kind of line up. Luckily, most of the time it's okay, but you need to pay attention to that because sometimes you can lose them. So you straighten them together, and you know, there's some, when you rip them, sometimes there's a rough edge. You don't want to straighten to that one, obviously. So then you take it here. You don't want to staple anywhere over the expiration date. The information of the product right here, that's what you save. I try to avoid this. You definitely don't want to staple over the barcode, because sometimes they make you take the staples off at the store, and if it ruins it, then you can't scan it. So when you're stapling, you want to do it somewhere where if it gets a little ripped, it's not going to affect your coupon, and it'll still be scannable. You want to flip it over. Okay, oops. And I like to do it up where it says save, because later when I file these, you'll notice that sometimes I have to fold my coupons. So, okay, now that it's close together, so I'm going to cut this one right here out. See, I've got my manufacture date. I didn't cut into that. This is, okay, focus down here, Joe. See, I got all my manufacturer. See, actually one was higher. I was lucky. Oh, see, that's what happens. This is what I'm talking about. I lost my manufacture date, and they won't take that if it's the only one that I show. I don't know if you can see that. The manufacturer got cut off. So you have to line up really carefully, because they have to be able to see that. Now, because I have this one, I can say to them, it's this one, and if they let me keep it stapled together, it still should be usable. But this is a prime example of what I was trying to explain, was that you could actually cut off vital information. So I'm going to be a little more careful. Let's see, that was the second one. So because it was the second one, are you focusing in on this, Joe?
Yeah, that's good.
I'm going to cut the top one. That way I can see. Let's see how we did on the rest of those. Yeah, so we were able to get them. So if you notice that that's happening, you can fix it by cutting, figuring out which one's off, and then cutting it. Okay. And this one, I like to try to cut away excess if I can. Okay. Also, you'll notice that some of the papers are going to be, now this part's going to go in the garbage. We don't need that anymore. You'll notice that some of the, I better check that barcode. Okay, same thing here. It was that second page, so I'm going to cut that and make sure that I have my expiration date showing right. Yeah, I got that one. Okay, let's see. It usually runs smoother. I just didn't straighten it very good before. It's kind of an important part, but I was rushing through to show on the video. So Oh, if you know there's one off, you just, ooh, those ones are okay together. Oh, that one was higher. This is not the ideal cutting situation. I demonstrated what to avoid, so I guess that's, you just have to look carefully. So when you have this pile, then it's time to file, but we're going to go back to that in just a sec. I need to kind of back up a little bit. Oh, here, Joe. When you're going through and you're sorting, you're going to find things like this. There's no coupons on here that you want. You see that? They're called junk papers. You don't need to sit and staple. I mean, well, I don't know. Maybe you would use this for Dash and Hopper, but that's an online order thing. I probably actually will save that for you. I'll probably ask you if you want it. But like this one right here, Joe, up here. I know that nobody that I know needs Depends, and I'm not going to tell Erin about this. So this would be in the junk. So I wouldn't even waste my time. If you know, if there's something that you're not going to need checks, just pitch that. Okay, so back here, Joe. We've already talked about how to organize our coupon binders. So you already have your categories. So like here, this one right here, this is a game right here. Can you see it, Joseph? Is it focusing?
Yeah, I focus it.
So before I start cutting and have oodles and oodles of coupons, I will start filing. Okay? So here's my toys. And I'll file that away in books. Well, mine's toys. Yours is filed, I think, toys and books, but mine's toys. I meant to change that and haven't done that yet. So then, like, here we have toothbrush stuff. So that would be under oral care. And whatever categories you pick is your business. That's fine. I'm just, you know the categories that we figured out together. But that's where I would put it. So tuck it in there. You do need to pick a day to purge the expired coupons, and I'd recommend that you purge before you start this process so that you're having room for your new coupons. Okay, let's use this for an example right here. This is what I would file under cleaning supplies, but notice this coupon is way bigger than my baseball coupons. So this is part of the information of stapling that I was talking about. You wanted to do it during where the saving stuff part was. I don't know if I'm making myself clear, but okay, so here's a cleaning one, and we're pretty full, so I'm just going to pretend to put it right here, but notice that's not going to fit. It's okay to fold the barcode, so I look at it right here, and I fold it so that it will fit in here. So that's why it's important to staple it in a specific location, because if it ends up being right here where you can't fold, that's going to get annoying. You're going to have to unstaple it and restaple it again. So when you're choosing the staple position, think of folding and putting it in the binder. Okay, we're going to finish cutting them out, and then we'll talk about the next part.